Hi everyone, it's Dina Proctor, life and business coach, creator of 3 by 3 Meditation, and author of the best-selling book Madly Chasing Peace: How I Went from Hell to Happy in 9 Minutes a Day. Talking today about when relationships part ways. And it could be a breakup of a romantic relationship, it may be a friendship that is parting ways, or it could be a business relationship, leaving one job and moving on to another one and parting ways with your boss and coworkers. One of the things that, especially in a romantic relationship, when people think about breaking up, say that it's you, or that it's me that is getting the inclination that we're going to be parting ways, that this relationship isn't for the best for either of us anymore, and I'm going to be moving on to something else. Now, a lot of times it feels like I'm going to hurt the other person. I'm going to let my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my husband or my wife down by leaving this relationship. I'll end up hurting them. Maybe it would be better if I stayed just to kind of keep the peace. Or I am afraid to leave this company. I've made such strong connections and built such strong bridges. I don't want anything to backfire. I'm worried about what people are going to think if I take my expertise and what I've learned here and go work for another company. Now, the key thing to remember, and this really helps me to remember, is that when we're following something that's given to us in our intuitive guidance, so it's not just our head that's telling us, oh, I don't like it here anymore, I need to get out of here because I'm scared, or it's getting too complicated for me and I just need to abort mission, I just need to get out of here. When we're coming from a place of calm and centeredness inside of ourselves, and it feels like we're getting this intuitive guidance, this wisdom from our highest self, or from the source that's greater than us, our highest powers speaking through that voice of wisdom, that voice of our intuition, and saying, it really is the best thing for you for this relationship to part ways. You had a good run, you've gotten all that you can get from this relationship. It's maxed out its capacity to further both people, or all people involved here, and it's the greatest good for you and all people this decision affects, for you to take another opportunity, for you to part ways from this relationship. Now, I'm emphasizing that because when the universe, or God source, or our highest self is giving us the guidance, and we feel clear and we feel at peace with the decision that needs to be made, but we're just kind of apprehensive about how it's going to go, and we don't want to hurt anybody or rock the boat. But when we really know in our heart and our soul and in our bones that it's the right thing, that means that if it is the right thing for you from your highest sense of intuition, it necessarily is the right thing for everybody that decision affects. And that may sound weird, because it may be that I am outgrowing this relationship, but that person still wants to be in it with me, and so I am hurting them in some way. But if it's for the greatest good of you and all people involved, which is by definition, if you're following that intuitive voice, the universe and God source the signal coming from the place higher than ourselves is not giving a contradictory impulse towards all the people involved in it. If every one of us that's affected by that decision is really tuned into that voice of intuition, every one of us, every person involved, would be able to see, like, yeah, it may be a little bit rocky, but at the end of the day, for the greater good of all of us, it's the right thing for this to dissolve, or for this to move on, or for this to split ways. So even if the other people involved in it don't see at first blush that this is going to be the right decision for them down the road, if it feels like it's the right thing for you, go with that instinct more than the need to please. You don't want to sacrifice and keep yourself stuck just to, on the surface, keep other people happy, because it's for the greater good of you and for them. So if you're in a romantic relationship and you are drawn to part ways in that relationship, but the other person doesn't want to, know that if you're following your intuitive guidance from within, that means that there's a better match for that person too out there. And so when you take the step to part ways, that person will, maybe not at first, takes a minute for them to kind of come to terms with it and accept it, but they will be able to be free to find a better match in their own relationship for their own further growth. They'll find a better match in someone who wants to walk that path with them. It's like when we are following that highest source of wisdom, it's the same signal for every person that decision affects. It's just, are we in tune with that signal, or are we not? So when you're making decisions like that and having a conversation about parting ways in a relationship or from a job, you just want to make sure that you are at a place of feeling empowered, centered, non-resistant, and at peace with that decision, because you'll be able to communicate a lot more clearly, and it will be easier for you to keep your ground in making that decision and not be swayed by trying to keep other people happy, or kind of keep yourself stuck in service of trying to not rock the boat, right? Just remembering that you are freeing them for somebody even better to come and fill your place. So I hope that makes sense and that that's helpful. It feels like it's been something that has been coming up with a lot of people I've been working with, and friends of mine even too. So just wanted to address that. Hope it was helpful for you. You can find more videos on my YouTube channel and on my website, which is madlychasingpeace.com. Thanks for listening in. We'll catch you next time.